The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Whether you're new to sales or a lifetime veteran, the Blackbelt Sales Podcast will sharpen your sword and guide you to master the art of sales. And now, here's your host, the ninja himself, Gene Slade.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. If you could just do me a huge favor, if you are watching this live right now, will you please put live down in the comments? And if you're watching it on a replay, please just put replay down in the comments. Will you go do it right now? Man, it'd make a big difference for us. So super excited to have Mark Sherwin back in the booth with us. As you can see, I've also got my man, Don Johnson here. Don actually introduced me to Mark about 5 or 6 years ago. And Mark was instrumental, and his company was instrumental in helping Don to build and exit an 8-figure business. So welcome to the show, Mark. Good to see you.
Good to be seen, Gene.
Welcome, Mark. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, buddy.
So, Mark, there are a lot of contractors out there right now that are struggling. One of the rumors that I'm hearing, one of the things that people are speculating about, and I think it's true, is that there's been a massive round of contractors being bought out by private equities over the last 3 to 5 years. And what we see a lot of times in these situations is a private equity comes in, and sometimes half the staff goes out because of policy changes. And the next thing you know, the company's not hitting the revenue marks it needs to hit. So what do? We open up the floodgates. We get more leads in. We try to, run more calls as opposed to getting more on each call. And that has caused some of the online marketing to just skyrocket and even really be out of reach for a lot of contractors. So what are some of the things that you're seeing out there that people can do to get immediate or close to immediate results? And then we can talk a little bit about what are some of the things we do to set ourselves up for success long-term into the future.
Well, I'll tell you this. So many people, and I don't, there's a big story here, Gene, for your ninjas. And I'm going to kind of go backwards just a little bit on this one.
Okay.
What ends up happening is we get complacent. Google was a place that you could put a quarter in and get $1 out 3 years ago.
Okay.
Now you put $5 in, you're lucky to get $3.50 out. That's what these guys have done is they've exponentially thrown money at Google, and Google being a for-profit firm is happy to take on that additional revenue. But the smaller guys, the guys that are even the mid-sized guys are struggling now to make the same amount of money they used to, or have the same expectation that they used to from, say, a Google Ads campaign. This has gone over into the generative search AI that Google is coming out with. You can go and test that if you want. This also has you're seeing on CNBC, Search Engine Land has something on there. Google is seeing the decline in search, and therefore people have to make up the revenue. So because Google obfuscates what you pay per click, they're able to basically whatever they need to make, they can charge. So clients have come back out and are going, all right, now what do I do? And here is the tried and true method of what to do.
Okay.
This has not changed. This hasn't changed since the early days.
Hey, real quick, before we get into that, guys,
buddy.
If you're listening right now and you're experiencing some of this, will you just put what you're experiencing down in the comments? Either your lead costs are up or they're down, your lead flow is up or it's down. I'd love to give some feedback from the audience as to what you're seeing and what area of the country you live in. Go ahead, Mark.
And that's extraordinarily important too, what area of the country you're in. But what we note is working. is the tried and true method. Many of you know a gentleman by the name of Lou Hobaika.
Oh yeah.
From early days, I went out and I actually visited him 5-6 years ago, and it was so consistent in the way that he trained his team. There are 2-minute videos that I have. I'm happy to share. Lou has offered has authorized me to, go ahead and share them as needed. But how to request a review, how to request a referral, and how to ask the right questions to see if there's more opportunity even in that existing house.
Right.
He perfected this to a point where marketing was, I got to have marketing, but I am part of the equation.
Right.
Every time he stopped the truck, he looked at it as another opportunity to talk to a neighbor, to talk to get the referral, to get involved in a home owners association. He looked at it as an additional opportunity to get a review that somebody might read, etc.
Right.
This is a tried and true method, and I will tell you, and this is almost every client I'll ask of today. You have a referral program. Yep, I sure do, Mark. It's $50 if you, whatever. Awesome. Are you trusting that the guys in the field or the people answering the phones or the people in contact with your customers, are they talking about it? And every time I get I'm not so sure.
Yeah.
Now, I want you guys to go and costs are way up. You're absolutely right, Patrick. I want you to go and I want you to look at your existing client base as gold. Build a freaking moat around these people if you need to. They are your champions. They are your raving fans. If you never read that book, that's an awesome book, by the way.
Who's the author again? Raving Fans?
Raving Fans. Stuff behind me somewhere. It is by...
I know I have it too, but I don't think it's right in front of me right now.
Ken Blanchard.
Okay.
Ken Blanchard.
Exceptional book on creating raving fans. I want you to go to if you have your own personal Facebook today, right now, just go and log in. Yeah, you're going to probably have to look and change some settings so it's not all the people that you follow in the industry. But you will find people looking, hey, who do you recommend? Who can paint my fence? Who can do this? Who do I go to for mulch? There are people asking questions now using social media. And what you are striving for, what you want, what you're desperate for is your clients going, oh, you got to use these guys. You got to use these guys. And you want it to be you. You want them touting you when their family and friends are asking questions on social media. There was a statistic being thrown around recently, 31%. Google is down 31% in searches in the home services industry so far this year. People haven't got less problems. They're just going different places now to get an answer. They would much rather trust what Aunt Lucy has to say about an air conditioning company than even the reviews being found on Google.
It's funny that you say this. Have you heard of or know Jamie DiDomenico?
I do not know.
So he built a company called Cool Today here in Florida.
Okay.
And this is what he was saying 10 years ago. He said that the future will be somebody going on Facebook and going, who do you use for this or that? It's going to be big time social.
And it's happened. It's happening before our eyes, Gene. It's amazing. It's an amazing concept.
So for those of you out there that own a business that is less than 2 years old, I want to see some shout outs in the comments, because if I've got some people on here that are either looking to start their own business in the not too distant future, or somebody who has just started that's struggling with leads, I'm going to give you a little nugget on how you can build yourself a following. But I need to see somebody down in the comments saying, I've got a new business or want to start a new business. Keep going, Mark.
So, Gene, I'll tell you, there's another. So we just talked about it. If Google still has 70% of the searches, and they're going to this generative AI. And then we have 30% going off and looking for the referral. I'm begging every client, little to big to giant, cultivate, build, brand, make part of your organization, operationally part of your organization, your referral marketing plan. I want everybody in that company to know who it is. Give cards out to people that have, $50 off. Put them in tip jars. They give them out like candy if you need to. Referral marketing works, and it's because I trust that person that I'm talking to. The second part is there's still 70% of the searches that are still occurring on what we'll call it search engines, right? Google specifically in this case for many of us. How do we impact Google? Today, more so than ever before, we talk about AI when it comes to sales AI, call scripts. We have a lot of AI going on in our lives. How does it apply to search engines? Today, generative AI on Google is okay. What we need to understand is that AI in general is a learning algorithm, but it learns from resources.
Okay.
Our goal for our clients, especially online, is to be the resource to which the the AI bots and engines are seeking to find the information it needs to spit back out at the searcher.
So an example of a resource would be the newsletters that Don used to have Don write constantly and attaching to the website so that the AI is looking for everything that it needs. It's looking for the questions people are asking, and then boom, you're the source.
That is exactly correct. But what are the questions that people are asking? And that is what people get thrown on. They have questions on cost. They have questions on price. How many of you, put it down in the comments because I know you're dealing with this, had to start calling a capacitor a voltage regulator just so people wouldn't go to Amazon anymore to look up how much a capacitor cost?
Yep.
Yeah, it does.
Right? It happens.
Yeah.
Stop fighting it. Start being the leader in it. You know what? A capacitor costs $20. It's my expertise, knowledge, etc. Then I'm not going to get electrocuted at 240 volts.
Right.
Right? Mr. Homeowner, don't go poking around in there kind of scenario. And here's why we deserve the money we deserve, the training, the expertise, the knowledge, to even know that if you turn that thing off, there's still a charge left in that capacitor, potentially, that could ultimately kill you. There's another book. We talked about raving fans. There's one of my favorite. I'm in the middle of this book, They Ask You Answer by Marcus Sheridan. Chapter 9 was everything I've been saying to clients, and apparently other people have been as well. Be the resource. Be the leader. If people are asking it, be the educator. Talk to them about what is involved with an air conditioning tune-up. Start there, right? Dive into it. No, your clients don't care that you spent 2 hours there and there's a 90-point inspection. That sounds really good. What they care about now is, what are you actually doing? There was a story from 5 or 6 years ago of a review. The lady actually posted this in her review, and I wish I could remember the company, but she found the technician asleep under the house because he needed to be there for 2 hours. Right? So we make these things like be there for 2 hours, and no, your clients want you in and out in 30 minutes. Don't mind that they paid $29, $39, $99. What value did they get from it? What did you do, and why did you do it while you were at the home? Get detailed. This book is amazingly powerful at giving you ideas on it. I have clients around the country starting to embrace it. And it's been really exciting for us. So,
Mark.
Yeah, go ahead, Gene.
Exactly what you're talking about is exactly how I built my first business, Air Genie. We literally would buy 1 hour blocks of radio on conservative talk stations on the weekend because you've got a captive audience. And we would go into detail on the pitfalls of hiring an HVAC contractor. What should they actually be doing when they come out to the house? And it was massively successful. It was 95% of my marketing dollars.
Yep.
And it generated a response like this. So
and today, Gene, it's going online.
Yeah.
You want to be that leader, that thought leader. We talk about instantaneous results, right? Don wants to know how to get the phone ringing tomorrow. Today, my suggestion to all of you, pick up the phone and start calling your people. Here, this is an often forgotten tactic. Apologize if you guys have gone through this a number of times, but I'm going to go through it again because it works. It's called the assumptive appointment. I want you to go back into your database. I want you to look at every tune-up that you saw last year and 6 months ago. I want you to call them up today and go, hey, it's that time of year again. I have you down for Tuesday at 10 a.m. Just want to make sure that that's still good for you. Can we make it 11? Sure, no problem. Call them up. You will fill the schedule with additional tune-ups right then and there by just calling your client and assuming the appointment. Let them tell you when when it's convenient for them.
Mark, we're doing that right now for our existing clients with our AI software. So it literally sounds like a human. It'll pick up the phone and call all of them. If I need to call 200 people all at one time, boom, it's done. Schedule's full.
Ideal.
Yeah, and a lot of times our staff, when I had staff, our staff, it'll come across like they're begging a little bit too much, and that's not an assumptive close when they're coming across a little, call it weak or begging them for an appointment. No, it's time. It's time. Remember that work you had last year?
Yep.
Time for your follow up. Is tomorrow at 2 good, or should it be? Monday?
He's even going as far as to assume the appointment's set.
Yes.
So I think that's strong. I think we're going to split test that with the AI tomorrow.
Please do. I'd love to see the results on that.
No, that's great. That's really, really great. I'm going to steal that from you, Mark.
I wanted to mention from something earlier that you said about the cost of going on up and up and up. And a lot of the bigger companies or the PEs, people have acquired a lot, have said, hey, it's so profitable to be in change out that they're just killing that section of the market with cost. And there's this phrase that you hear that, the one that can spend the most on advertising wins. And I like to modify that and say, there's something to that. But let's say I like to modify that. The one that can get the most revenue from each call wins. Because if I go and spend $1,000 for a lead and get $500 in revenue back, or in the old days it was like $350 and get $79 for your tune-up,
right?
That just accelerates your losses, and that puts you out of business quicker. So be careful with trying to fight the fight of the person who's got unlimited money, because they can get millions and millions of dollars and upside down and just get more funding, right? Private equities almost have an unlimited supply of money right now.
Yep.
So if you're a business owner, he who can get the most revenue per call means I can then spend the most money to get that call. But you have to look at that ratio. If your ratio is, I'm getting $1,000, I'm going to probably tell you can't spend more than $200 if you want to be profitable as a company on that lead. Some would say maybe even $10, or $100, but 10% to 20, I'm okay with 20. I can make 20 work. I just can't make 70% of my cost be to Google or to the lead. And
you can do it on the first round.
Think that things are going to, all I got to do is spend more money at that ratio. No, at 20%, I'm okay with spending more. But he who gets the most revenue from each call wins. And that's part of, you got to have marketing, but you have to have a system behind it to ask for the order, to get the business. So
I'd say right behind that, Don, would be he who closes the most club memberships also wins, right? Because Don's talking about you can afford potentially to spend that 20% up front, but that's part of the customer acquisition cost, right? We don't want to have to assume that extra money again. We want to bring them into the family, build a moat around them like Mark is saying, and then boom, we don't have to market to them again, at least not for that amount of money.
Sure.
Exactly correct.
Yeah, we should leave every house with a maintenance or a service agreement, if you want to call it a maintenance agreement, if you want to call it a membership, a club membership. All of them are much the same. I get that there are people out there that are defining them a little bit different, and I'm okay with that. They're just our customers. My dad would always say that it was the fence I put around my garden, and I kept everybody out of my garden to keep from eating the food that I grew, right? I put the fence around my garden. As the way he always said it. The moat's a good example too, but my dad would tell me it's the fence around our garden. When we grow our customers, we get to reap the benefit. So I love that.
Don taught me you taught me this. Don, you taught me this years ago. There was a time Don and I ran a Groupon, and back when it was popular. And we had 320 something sales on just one Groupon for a tune-up. And I learned so much from that experience because I had a lot of clients who were like, I'm not giving it away for $29. And Don's like, no, I'll take them all. Yeah. And the reason was because Don had a trickle marketing campaign through his email system, which we do now for our clients, but a whole trickle email system. And the real cool thing that he did, and I want you to take this one too, is not necessarily get them on an agreement per se, have them sign paperwork, but while you're in the home, he was booking them for the 6 months out and honoring the price they just paid, but direct to him.
Yeah.
So now he's booking 6 months from now, just the technician. Nope, I didn't find any problems. Here's your report card. Everything's good. Hey, 6 months from now, I'm just going to honor this same price and then he brings a date. He's booking them right then and there. Next time he went out, what'd you do, Don? No. Oh, well, we'll just honor the price, but we'll just do it for twice a year. And next thing you know, he was walking up. It was about, of the 329, Don, maybe you remember this, maybe you don't, but you estimated that about 100 of them became maintenance agreement members just by slowly walking them up the chain.
Yeah, extending their deal. You didn't have to split it with Groupon. These people would have been back to buy another Groupon, but once you're in the house, you just honor that same price. And we had some success. I admit that towards the end, you kind of get lazy and people fall off from it. But booking the next appointment like a dentist, I leave my dentist office with the next appointment, and I don't cry and complain and bitch and moan about it. If we'll just go ahead and book the next one when we leave, now we can spend all our office going through it. And most everybody's software sends reminders and all of that already. It's kind of that stuff's automated for you if you're on most any software now. So book the next one when you leave. But sometimes we're so worried about today or the next call or whatever that we don't go through that effort. I leave my dentist every time with the next appointment. And you know what? I keep it 90% of the time. Every now and then I get an opportunity to go on a trip and I call them and change it. But
you don't have a maintenance agreement with them. You have I
just have a scheduled appointment. I'm good.
Exactly correct. My pest control does that. Does that to me all the time. Hey, okay, cool. See you soon.
Yeah. So what if it doesn't stick? It's okay. You're not asking for any of them right now anyway. So if half of them stick, man, look how much better off you are.
Exactly right.
Yeah. We've got a client, Gene, and I've got a client in Florida, electrician. And he back to your idea of the social, he took his BNI group, his little referral group, and they all go online, and when someone says, who's the realtor, he goes over there and says, call this guy.
Yep.
And when they say, who's your electrician, instead of him going and putting his own name in, he texts his realtor. He's got like a group text for everybody who plays the game with him. And he sends in there and says, hey, over on for sale.
Post to the group. That's all you do.
Yeah, he just posts the group. Hey, over on Facebook in this group, somebody's asking for an electrician. Go mention us. So he's not having to mention himself. He's getting 10 other people to mention him. That once you get it structured and set up, that's a game that's really good. And you can take your BNI group. That's what they're supposed to be doing. They're going to feel guilty if they don't recommend you because that's what they agreed to do. So if you're in a BNI group, take that BNI group to the next level by getting it a group text message going, and make sure they're all that everyone's social links and all that stuff. Get friends with them, go through that. He's having some great success with that little program, and it's so simple.
Yep.
But nobody's doing it, but very few people are doing it. Incredible little nugget from that. Yep. And then go join all the little local groups, like what's happening with Dowie, what's happening in Anniston, what's happening, because that's where those little posts are going.
Yep.
Right?
Guys, you're dropping gold right now, but I got to get a little bit more engagement on this. So, guys, if you're watching this live, will you please just put live down in the comments? And if you're watching it on a replay, please put replay in the comments. And this is how we pay for the show, guys, with likes and comments and things like that. Don't be a kangaroo. You know what a kangaroo is, right? I think I need to be back up on the big screen, Brittany. So here's a kangaroo. A kangaroo is a client whose arms are just long enough to grab all your free shit and put it in their pouch, but they can never get around back to their wallet. Okay? So, guys, don't be a kangaroo. Reach into your pouch and pull out a like or a comment or something like that for us. Put live or replay down in the comments. Mark, I want to come back to you with any parting advice or thoughts. I also do want copies of those Lou Habaika's videos. Sure. I can share them. Mm-hmm. And then I do have a story for everybody or a little bit of advice for people who are younger in the business, don't have strong social followings as we close out. So, Mark, back to you. What else should the people know? What else can you leave them with that's a benefit? And can they reach out to you? How do they reach out to you?
Mark at LeadsNearby. It's pretty simple. That was the early benefit of creating an email address of a company I owned. It was a very short email, mark@leadsnearby.com.
Beautiful.
I can share my Calendar link and stuff like that too. But
is it going to cost anybody to reach out to you, or will you do a 15, 20 minute, 30-minute session with someone if they just
as long as it takes time.
Yeah. And so guys, if you want to get a free consult with Mark so he can take a look at what you're doing and maybe give you some better guidance, or hell, maybe you even want to do business with him, just put marketing meeting or something like that down in the comments, or meeting with Mark, and my team will make sure that you get connected.
And I appreciate that, guys. I love what I do, and I love who I do it with, and I love who I do it for. And I'm going to tell you a story about a guy I met, it's got to be 5 years ago now. He had a one-page website on Google, and just one-page website. And I'm thinking, this guy, I got him, right? He's got nothing. And I get him on the phone, and he's like, Mark, I'm a $2 million a year business. With a one-page website, how'd you become a $2 million a year business? He's like, here, I'll tell you the secret. So I'll leave it with you guys. This is a guy that, and I didn't think about it at the time. I was appreciative of what he was doing, but I didn't think of it as a tact at the time. He was literally clover leafing, going door to door, if you will, around tune-ups that he was doing, et cetera, in neighborhoods that he wanted to do that in. And as he was standing there talking to the client, he would tell them, I have a $25 coupon that I'll apply right now. Can you just go and like our page on Facebook and maybe say something nice about your experience with us on your wall? Thanks. I appreciate it. And he'd go back to writing it. I'm going to apply that now. Did you do that for me? Yep. Every single time. So now Susie Q Homemaker or whoever, right, turned around, was saying something really nice about him on their wall to their friend groups. And he guaranteed me every single time that somebody did that, he got another job from it.
Wow. Wow.
And that's how he built a $2 million a year firm in Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm out of Raleigh, so and he never did business with me, but that's how he built his company. And he would literally, he trained every single person in the company, asked for the referral. He had a strong referral program, and he would even go knocking on doors. If he didn't have an appointment right after that one, he'd tell the guy, go knock on doors, see if anybody's home, and if they would like a free inspection or a tune-up, while a $39 tune-up while they were in the neighborhood. I improved that. I gave him an idea, and he called me later, and he told me that it worked. Was when the technician didn't have an appointment right after, he had him put out a sandwich board. You know those big A-frame sandwich boards you see, plastic things. Put it outside your truck with a QR code. I'm in the neighborhood today. Would you like a free air conditioning inspection or a $39 tune-up? Just go to this QR code. That QR code was a form that went right to the office. That office would book the next call them up. Hey, you got a full schedule right after that. So instead of cloverleafing, he was having people who were home, because we all know this happens.
I was doing it this morning, Mark, on my walk. I walked a little over 2 miles this morning, and there were 3 vans in the neighborhood. I was like, I really do need to get those people out to my house. I need to get these types of people out to my house.
And if there was a QR code right there, how easy would have that been?
I probably would have done it, especially if it was on a sandwich board. I'd have really appreciated that.
See? Just little things like that.
Just on the truck, good logo truck, that matters.
Yes.
That works.
Yeah.
I would agree. But when he set something else out, it said it was okay to call. I wanted you to. You weren't going to feel like you were the wrong to call me. We can't make people feel wrong.
Come bother.
That it made it okay. So that little extra made him different. And if one of those, I think you said 3, Gene, would have had this stand-up board that said that, you would have said, well, crap, do it. You would have called that one, even if all 3 of the companies were the same company, 3 garage door companies. You would have called the one that had the little sandwich board out there. QR code or not, or just a phone number, whatever it takes. But let them know it's okay to call. We're not going to be mad, which is crazy because that's the business we're in. But yet people can be a little timid.
I can't stand calling a company. The van is in my neighborhood. I call the company, and the company said, "Hey, you got a guy right down the street. Can he come up by my house and take a look at what I got?" "Oh, I'm sorry. He's busy. He can't." "I'm sorry. What?" I'm calling. And she let me go. Click.
Wow, that happens all the time, dude. All the time. Nobody asks for the order.
It's crazy. It was absolutely nuts to me. And I never did business with them.
Guys, if you're watching this, I'd love to get a little bit of feedback from you about what your favorite tactic was that was shared with you today. Mark, I really, really appreciate you coming on. Is there anything else that you wanted to say before I kind of wind the show down?
No, we're good. I've got a lot to say, but that's because I'm a talker.
I'm trying to keep these below 45 minutes nowadays, just because. I
got you, brother.
You know what I mean? So, guys, if you want a meeting with Mark, all you got to do is put it down in the comments. My team will reach out to you and connect the 2 of you and get you what you need. See if there's anything else. There is one thing I want to share with everybody, but I want to pay the bills first. Number 1, if you're listening to this on Spotify or on Apple Podcasts, will you please do us a favor? Will you please go over and just give us a 5-star review and say something nice about the podcast, man, it would make all the work that we do getting this stuff organized and ready for you so worth it. Also, we've got an event coming up. It's going to be May 29th through June 2nd. It is at Grand Hollow Mansion in Orlando, Florida. You'll be staying there with us. If you want more information on how to take your guys and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8x their average tickets, it's happening every single day. It's not bullshit. I can show you the guys. I'll hook you up with people that you can talk to. This is what we were talking about in the beginning. Don says the person who's able to generate the most revenue on the call can then pay the most for the call. Yes. And that's what we're specializing in. We'll take your average tickets and double, triple, quadruple them. We'll double or triple your closing ratios depending on where they're at. And I've got 100% money back guarantee on the class, but you got to call me in order to get information on it or put Mansion down in the comments. My cell phone number is 239-848-6533. It should be coming up on the screen. 239-848-6533. Just shoot me a text or comment Mansion below, and we'll set up a time to just have a quick 15-minute conversation. Check out this video real quick. We'll be right back. And you don't want to go away right now because I'm going to share with you how I would market myself if I was starting a brand new air conditioning company from scratch today. You don't want to miss it. Stick around for another 3 minutes.
I'm Jonah Gorlitz. I'm from Louisville, Kentucky. I've been doing HVAC for about 1.5, 2 years now, and I work for Instant Air out of Shepherdsville, Kentucky.
Hi, I'm Kim Kay. I work with LeadsNearby, and I've been working with LeadsNearby for over 8 years, and we work with HVAC, electrical, and plumbing contractors.
So my name is Chris Laurentino from Comfort Specialists. We're out of Morris County, New Jersey. I've been in the industry about 17 years now.
I joined the mastermind because it's not just a sales course. Actually, it's not really a sales course at all.
So the reason I joined the mastermind is I've seen some people's results online.
This is different from other events that I've been to. I've been to various contractor events for quite a few years now.
It's really taught me how to understand and communicate to the customer well. It's actually my second Mansion trip.
From the community of how well some people have done, and I really wanted to be a part of that.
And this one is the best space. It's the most glamorous space. And it's basically one training that builds upon each other.
Share in that success. And I felt that the best way to achieve that was to actually get here and get involved in the training. And frankly, in my mind, there's no better way to train than in person.
Since I've been in the class since December, my income has improved, my revenue for the company has improved, my customer relations have improved, and my call volume has decreased while the profits and everything else has increased.
Being here is a unique experience that you can't replicate in just a Zoom class. There's so much more that you get out of this.
I mean, other events I've been to, it's a lot of information on a lot of topics where this is very concentrated. I feel like it allows you to have more focus.
Hey, thanks for sticking with us. So if I was going to go out and start a brand new business today, first thing I would do is go take my heating and air conditioning system apart, or I would find somebody that had a breakdown, and I would go out to their house or needed a tune-up, and I would unpack one thing that I found on that house that caused a problem. some of the things that lead to problems, breakdowns, repairs, things like that. And I would just shoot a 90-second reel on that little topic. I would also have captions. You can do this through Instagram. I don't know if Facebook's capable of this now, but normally Instagram's got more features for you to modify video. So I would record it on Instagram, upload it to Instagram, utilize all of their special features like captioning and different layers of whatever. And then I would transfer it over to Facebook. Make sure you put your telephone number down at the bottom and ask them to text you if they ever have a question or concern or they need your help. And you're going to have to do this once a day. All right. By the time you get to 1,000 videos, number one, the videos won't suck anymore. And number two, you will begin to build yourself an audience. You'll be able to build yourself your own brand. Then do what Don and Mark were saying, and go take those videos and share them into local community groups that moms are a part of. We all know that a man might be the head of the household in a house, but the woman, she's the neck. She can turn them any way she wants. She makes 80 to 85% of the decisions inside the household. Okay. So focus your reels or your videos around health, safety, money, convenience or inconvenience, and then the environment. There's one more that I'm missing, Don, but I don't. What's that?
Time.
I thought I said time.
I'm sorry. Health,
There's
money,
one more.
time, inconvenience, safety, and environment.
Yeah, so there should have been 6 there. If there wasn't, just beat me up in the comments.
Yes.
But guys, you all have got a television station right inside of your phone.
Yep.
Years ago, it would have been millions and millions and millions of dollars to be able to get the access to other humans that you've got the ability to do now. So turn this phone around, stop being afraid of it, talk into the camera, and create yourself an audience. I'm telling you, guys that work with me do this. They'll go to Home Depot or they'll go to Lowe's, the filter aisle, and next thing you know, people are coming up to them saying, hey, you're that guy from the videos, the air conditioning guy. They're literally becoming local celebrities in their own markets. So that would be what I would do. If you're
And you're really not even saying boost it or pay money to do it. Just do the video and then share it into 2 or 3 of these groups, or one group, but a different group every day type deal, so that you're getting some exposure and you're not just flooding them with your 1,000 videos. Spread it around, and then as people comment, engage them. I love the phone number across the bottom that says text me. Phone number, adding that to it. That's a billboard just sitting there all the time for anything that's viewed. Even if they don't view the whole thing, they got the point and they got the phone number real quick. So I like that. I do like that idea.
The most commonly watched video today on the internet now is about 1 minute long, guys. So if you can keep the reel to a minute, that's great. If not, no more than 90 seconds, short, sweet, to the point. This is what I found. This is super common. A lot of people deal with this. Here's how you prevent it. If you have a challenge in the future, if you haven't had your system cleaned in the last 6 months, my telephone number is at the bottom. Go ahead and hit me up, guys. And don't worry about repeating yourself and doing the same type of part over and over again. Just don't do it every day, right? Not everybody's going to see your stuff. Maybe if you're lucky, 10% of the people that follow you will see your stuff. That's, again, why to get into the Facebook groups as well, like Don's saying. So, guys, I appreciate you joining me today. Again, if you want a meeting with Mark, put meeting with Mark down in the comments. If you need help with training your guys, that's what Don and I do on a daily basis. We've got all kinds of different programs to do that. Give us a shout. My cell number, again, is 239-848-6533. Guys, have a great day. Appreciate you coming on with us. And by the way, Mark, also thank you for being a former sponsor of our Black Belt sales training events at the Mansion.
Yeah, it was my pleasure. We're going to be doing it again. I promise.
And you're on other podcasts somewhere as well, aren't you, Mark?
I am, yes. Yeah. Well,
where can they find you?
Boom, right there.
Right up on the screen. There's a whole bunch of links to your favorite ones from wherever. Amazon. I think Amazon's actually getting rid of their podcast now, but iTunes, et cetera, is all on there. It's a contractor marketing soapbox, and basically I'm trying to help people understand how to connect different, pieces of from their brand to their core values and what it means to their marketing overall. So you'll see a whole bunch in there. I've gotten some good feedback. I appreciate any feedback that you all have. And I think my first guest should be Gene and Don. So
Contractor Marketing Soapbox, guys.
It's me.
There you go. So if you've got the Black Belt Sales podcast in your favorites list, let's add Mark Sherwin to your favorite
I appreciate
list.
that very much.
Guys, have yourselves a great day. Keep doing what you're doing. You guys are making a massive difference, and I appreciate you. Thank you for all of the clients of ours that you've helped, Mark.
No, my pleasure. Thank you guys for the invite. We'll talk soon. Be good.
See you later, guys. Have a great day, ninjas.